Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about Charmed Season 4. Obviously, at the time of me recording this, there is a trailer out. It's like a 30-second-ish trailer, but if you haven't seen it already, I'll include a link to it in the description down below. But because there's not really too much in the trailer, this video is most likely going to end up being kind of a thoughts and theories. I should also note, I have not read up anything about this season, so there might be stuff publicly known, but this is just me being like, all right, having seen that, knowing the tiny bit I know, which the only thing I know going into the season was that obviously the new Charmed one was cast. That's about it. Other than that, I've read nothing else about it. So like I said, these are just going to be kind of rhetorical questions in the sense these are just, you know, thoughts I'm having and just throwing it out there. And then I'm also, you know, I know that this show is going to answer them. So if the answer's already out there, I'd rather not know. But like I said, these are just kind of letting you know what my thought process is. But obviously, you know, we've got Mel and Maggie struggling going on without Macy. Obviously, we don't see it in the trailer, but I'm sure we'll probably get a little bit of time in between them adjusting to not having Macy. Because that's going to be interesting in comparison to the original show. Whereas the original show, like, to my recollection, it was just like the next episode, and it's like, yeah, like, Prue died, and we never really got to... Like, obviously, this season 3 finale, we kind of got to flow through some of those emotional moments of them having to let go Macy. We kind of got after the fact with the original series, just once again, circumstances being what they were in the original series. So, I think this gives the show kind of this unique situation in comparison to the original show because it was kind of like a proper send-off, whereas, like, there wasn't an opportunity for a proper send-off, regardless of, you know, once again, circumstances of the original show. So... But I feel like we never really got too much time. I mean, we got some, obviously, with Piper and Phoebe in the original series, kind of dealing with the aftermath of losing Prue. But I don't think we spent too much time in them fighting, like, any demons or evil or anything, like, anything supernatural. Maybe I'm not remembering, because it was pretty quickly, like, we wrote into the whole, like, Paige situation. Granted, it still took a while before she fully came around to joining the Charmed and everything, but I'm curious to see if we'll get any of that in this series where we'll get them, you know, fighting demons and trying to adjust to it. I just, like I said, it might have been a thing in the original show, I just don't remember it as clearly. So that's definitely going to be interesting. And obviously the element of, hey, who's this new person that's joining the Charmed Ones? Because obviously the big question going forward was like, oh, there's another one out there, so who's this person that's going to be the Charmed One? And I think that's going to be so interesting to find out how they handle that storytelling-wise, because even Harry says, it's like, well, we're just going to find some random person to replace Macy. But because they have done the half-sister storylines, like, so who's this new Charmed One and what is her connection? Is she just some random person? Because I doubt they're going to be like, oh, yeah, she had another half-sibling. It's like, no, there must be some... I doubt they're not going to do that. I'm sure they're going to do something even deeper, but I'm curious what the correlation is going to be. It makes me think of Sleepy Hollow when Abby died, and essentially... Ichabod had to find the other new witness. The circumstances didn't play out the way you would have thought they would have. There ended up being a lot more to it. If you've seen season 4 of Sleepy Hollow, you know where the second witness situation ended up going. So, but like maybe it's kind of like that thing of like, right, the universe needs balance. So she was chosen because maybe there's actually a multitude of people who have the potential to be the Charmed Ones. And, like, why she's able to fill that power gap now that Macy's going, I don't know. Like, was that always her destiny? Like, was her destiny going to be something else? But the strings of fate essentially got twisty-turny. I don't know why I said it in such a weird way. Like, things got discombobulated because of Macy being gone, and now it's like, right, the universe had to balance itself out in some shape or form. There has to be a set of Charmed Ones, so they brought, like, fate decided to bring someone else in the fold. Like I said, was she someone that was in the background already set up to, like, are there people who are out there who have the potentiality to fill that role, essentially, and it just takes a matter of, because we've dabbled into the fact is that the Charmed Ones always kind of have a tragedy where, like, in the past, where the previous Charmed Ones, like, one sister ends up dying. So that means this has happened time and time again, but it's always ended with the destruction of the charmed ones, the sisterhood. But then it's like, but why was this situation different? Why was this destruction that there's something else at play here? Like, not less like there was some universal thing of like, not like we have to come together. Like, I don't know. I'm so excited to find out their justification and reasoning, find out who this new charmed one is, what her circumstances are. Obviously, I'm diving deep into that, but we also have to deal with the fact is, like, it's going to be an awkward situation for Mel and Maggie, especially because, like, Macy wasn't even in their lives that long. They went most of their lives never knowing they had a sister, and they only found out in the past couple years just to lose her like that. It's heartbreaking. Obviously, the same thing is applicable for Harry. Like, once again, that line of, oh, some stranger's supposed to replace Macy, because it's like, it's almost like, oh, we're supposed to welcome this person into this family that is ours, this person we don't know. It's not even like a thing of like, oh, she's a half sibling. It's like, no, she, from what's been presented, she's just a complete stranger, and we're supposed to welcome her in like family. It's like, no, our only other family was our sister who's gone. For Harry, it's like the woman he loved is gone, so bringing someone else in, especially as their white lighter, it's like, oh, I'm supposed to be in charge of taking care of you, and it's like, here's this person replacing the woman that I love, you know? And so she's got to struggle with that. Like, I'm not trying to replace anyone. I'm not trying to be the new Macy. I'm just trying to be me. I'm trying to fulfill the role that I've been given. I'm curious to get the full scale and scope of like the situation that ends up bringing them together. You know, once again, you know, fate and destiny being what it is, it's just going to be interesting what circumstances, like I said, lead them to each other. I already did it with Macy, but I'm curious, are they going to make her something else too? Like, well, whereas Macy was already like part demon, I wonder would they follow the Paige route and make it so that this new charm one is half white lighter? That'd be kind of interesting if that's what, but since they already did the half demon thing, I don't see them doing that with Macy's, you know, like even just doing the opposite with a white lighter, like the Paige thing. But since they already did the demon side of things with Macy, I don't see them doing that. But I mean, who knows? It'd be interesting. I mean, it doesn't even necessarily even have to be a white lighter. Could she be half something else? Who knows? It didn't get brought up in the trailer, but let's not forget that Jordan's got his own circumstances kind of going on as well, that we're gonna have to figure, obviously everything between him and Maggie and what that means going forward. I mean, just the relationships in general, because there's also like Mel and Ruby, like I brought up earlier, Harry, like the aftermath, because like he looks like he's got the full beard and everything, so obviously showing that he's taken, you know, losing Macy hard. I mean, which isn't to take away from the sisters losing, well, their sister, but still, all of them are going to be a little lost in the beginning, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they end up finding their way through all of it. I'm excited to see what new challenges, what new characters we'll get this season, what new storylines, what characters might be returning. Like, once again, I haven't read anything, so I'm curious, like, is Abigail gone forever, or will she pop back up in smaller instances, or what? It seemed like that was, like, the season 3 finale seemed like it was a send-off for her too, but you never know what the future holds. That's why I'm like, I didn't read too much in it. Kind of don't want to know. Like I said, rhetorical questions I'm asking here because I know the show will eventually ask them. I mean, it will answer them. So these are just some of the things going through my mind. I'd love to get to know your thoughts in the comments down below. What are some things you want to see from this season? What are some things you expect to see from this season? Some of the points that I brought up, do you agree? Do you disagree? What, you know, maybe like, oh, like maybe you have different takes on some of the thoughts I've presented. Just let me know how you're feeling and thinking in the comments down below. But really, that's all I want to talk about. Until the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.